So many Ghanaians are known to be respectful, hard workers, and diligent people. Foreigners are sharing their experience on how Ghanaian parenting made them who they are, and also why it looks like Ghanaians stand out due to the parenting they receive from childhood.
I was raised with a black African grandfather. He was my dad's stepfather. Yet he was the only father in my dad's life. My dad is white. My mum is Asian.
How was it like as a kid growing up with a West African grandfather in such a mixed family?
I was heavily influenced by Ghanaian culture. I had a grandfather at home who I sometimes clashed with, and I would be firmly reminded that, Hakim, you are playing too much computer. You need to study more. Why do you want to spend time outside? You're a child. You should not be walking around in the street. This is not good. For the first 10 years of my life, that was the kind of cultural clash. However, at home, I was already used to eating curries and with the spicy Pakistani food. But I was also used to eating even spicier Ghanaian food, such as fufu, and we call it ground rice. So I know that in Togo and in French they have other names for this, so we can show that up on the screen. But we were eating these very spicy chicken stew, beef stew, and of course jollof rice, which I don't want to start any wars here, but the Ghanaian jollof rice is what I grew up with, maybe better than the Nigerians. Gari peanut stew. That was one of my favorites. Spicy fish, and hearing the languages as well. Jack, eteseng.
Yeah.
I heard all these different accents. He spoke.
According to a lot of people, Ghanaian parenting has played a huge role in the total performance of Ghanaians outside the country, in the country, and part of the reason why it looks like this piece Ghana is known for is a thing of reality. You're welcome to my channel. I'm Delicious Army. Yeah, it's all Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, on all the good stuff related to them. Kindly like the video, kindly subscribe to the channel.
This is why we moved to Ghana, because I feel safe with them out there. Walk carefully. Okay. I know everyone in my neighborhood. They know my children. Everyone has eyes on them. A different life, totally different from what they experienced in America.
My first time of buying a car, it took me 5 months before I sent it home. And the night my dad sat down and asked me about my salary and calculated the years that I worked, I told him it's not mine. So first of all, you buy car when you're young. Your first car. After 5 months, now you carry and go house. So after 5 months, when you buy your car, you want me the car not to look new, may rough up small. You carry and go house. That night, your father sit you down. He follow you calculate your salary before he ask you, say, who get this car? Now you get opportunity, can't even put my life on and say, no be your own, no. Say maybe now your guy own. You say you tell your papa say na your car. Maybe that night now you go carry that car go return. Ghanaian parents, omu pesa, abi how they call am. Mo lo gbegblenya. They don't like yaga yaga. They don't like see. They don't like notice me. They rather let you think they don't have. Ghanaian parents, they rather let you assume they are poor than for you to think they have more than they actually do. So a lot of Ghanaians will tell you their first cars, their parents ask them to return it or sell it straight up. Ghanaians will be saying if you go village, your mama go tell you say pack your car or no carry your car, come oh. No dress well or wear short knicker and your shirt. I'm telling you. So Ghanaians, you people should come and explain to us because this story is very, very touching. Assuming say this guy telling Papa the truth that night, waiting for happen. And you know say Ghanaian parents that spread the road and spoil the charge, or they discipline you whether you did 30 years, they still flog you. No go there.
The joys for me, the majority of the time, is when I'm teaching them to be patient. I'm teaching them to learn how to involve and include their younger siblings, to be understanding. He's not your age, but you were once his age. And another sibling had and has developed patience for you. Now, so now that you are older, have the patience. hearing them in their personal spaces, repeating the positive things that you've taught them. No, mommy doesn't approve of such language, or that will make daddy happy. Let's do this because it's the right thing to do.
You all listened to the podcast interview from Evolve HQ, where he said his Ghanaian grandpa made him part of what he is today by instilling a lot of morals, a lot of good behavior in him. And you also listen to Kofi Cavalli, who made emphasis on how in Ghanaian homes, when you go there with certain properties, certain things, he made an example with the car. The parents will ask you, where did you get it from? If not, they will ask you to take it back to where you're bringing it. This has helped a lot of Ghanaian children, a lot of Ghanaians to do legit things, to earn money in a very legit way, because they know that when they go back home, their parents will ask them questions. How did you get these things?
Can your child get a proper education if you live in West Africa? You may find after watching this video that the education system in West Africa is not only better than what you thought, but it might be a better environment for your children to learn than the Western world. So let's talk about it. Probably the number one reason that I hear in my appointments from Westerners who are hesitant to move to West Africa despite seeing all the benefits of living in the region is that they are concerned about their children's education. Often they'll say they are very interested in buying a property, but they just want to wait until their kids are in college. But what if I told you that your children could get a more rigorous education in a structured environment where they would be more happy and be better prepared for success after graduation than if they were educated in the Western world? This is not hyperbole. I have genuinely found West African education to surpass the educational system in the West, particularly at the private academies, in terms of discipline, education level, fitness level, and the social network the kids develop.
Now, should this be just a Ghanaian thing, or should this be just a normal moral thing? For me, this is a normal moral thing, but in this day and time, not every country, not every people can vouch for this kind of morals. We now live in a world whereby you will see a 16-year-old using iPhone 15. The iPhone 15 were not bought, for them by their parents. They don't have any job. In fact, the person is a student without a side hustle. And the person will bring in the iPhone 16 home, and their parents will welcome them and tell them, yes, you have done well. In fact, try and buy our own too. But according to what Kofi Cavalli is saying here, that in Ghana, most of the children in Ghana, they dare not buy properties and take home to their parents. Why? Because their parents are going to ask them where they got those things from. This particular role, this particular method has really helped curb the rates of crime in Ghana. According to Kofi Cavalli, that when young ones take certain things home, their parents ask them, how did you get it? That if your father or your mother knows you do not have a source of income that can earn that, you will take it back to where you're bringing it from. These are the kind of practices, these are the kind of things we are supposed to encourage in our African setting. This love of money by many Africans, by so many people, is what is ruining the African culture. That is why you see young boys, young children going into human trafficking, going into yahoo, going into a lot of things. And when you ask them, they'll tell you that they want to fend for their parents. You want to fend for your parents how? Why should a 16-year-old be fending for their parents? Why? And you also heard the other lady who said that it is only in Ghana she has the mind, she has the audacity to allow her children go down the road to go buy things. And the other man spoke about the quality of education in Africa. You all know that. The quality of education, let me now narrow it down to West Africa. Ghana in particular is no man's business. So many people in the diaspora are now considering sending their children down to Ghana to study. Why? Because this is as a result of the STEM schools and the quality education Ghana is presenting to the world. It is no longer like before where most of the times if you want quality education, you have to run down to the diaspora. Now people are even coming from the diaspora down to Ghana just for quality education. I have met a lot of Ghanaian people. I've had some of them as friends. And one thing I can vouch for, the ones I have met, they have this home training. Yes, they have this home training. They have this regard. They will not take what is not theirs. The ones I have met, the ones I have associated with, they will not take what is not theirs. And that is because they know, I'm getting to know now why they don't do it. That is because when they go home, their parents will ask them, where did you get it from? Who gave it to you? And if they cannot make a concrete answer with evidence, their parents will reject such gifts. This is the reason why it looks as if when it comes to high crime rates, it is very, very, very low in Ghana. You all know statistics don't lie. And the crime rate in Ghana, it's there. Trust me, there's no country without crime rate, but it's not on the high side. Why? Because practices like this, parental parental upbringings like this have helped curtail those kind of things. I'm so shocked when I see some things young children flaunt these days. I'm not saying as a young person you should not make it big. No, don't get me wrong. I'm actually a young person. I'm talking about children in school, children in secondary school, children in high school that are not working, that do not have any source of income, that do not even have rich parents. Because I can remember that even at 200 level in the university, I was using this type of phone you're seeing on the screen. So when I got to 300 level, my parents had to get me an internet phone. Why? Because of practicals and projects. It was when I graduated from the university, I started working. That was when I was able to afford a digital phone. And today, I'm using one of the best phones in the world. Why? Because I have earned it. I have worked for it. Had it been when I was still in secondary school or early years in the university where I wasn't earning anything. My focus was phone. I want to use the most latest phone. I would have ended up doing so many things that would have turned the trajectory of my life towards a negative aspect. So I feel these are the things that our parents need to instill in children. And I'm giving a very, very huge thumbs up to the Ghanaian parents for ensuring that when their children bring home things that are not their worth. Yes, everybody knows their child worth. If your child is earning 10,000 Ghana cedis, your child cannot afford something worth 50,000 Ghana cedis. Let's not deceive ourselves. There's no miracle there. Until that child has been able to work for a certain amount of years before they'll be able to do it. And this is part of the reasons why when you're saying low crime rates in Ghana, low crime rates in Ghana, these are the reasons. The parents are curtailing it. And that is why when Ghanaians even go outside Ghana, they behave beautifully well. They bring good reputation to the country. I'm not saying every Ghanaian out there is perfect. No, don't get me wrong. I'm talking about the percentage of Ghanaians that go to the diaspora and we hardly hear any nonsense from them. But feel free to drop your own opinions in the comment section. Kindly like the video. Kindly subscribe to the channel. I'm Delicious Army. I talk Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and all the good stuff relating to them. I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.